year will be done in the next coming weeks. And I have turned in OPWC for 2026. I had the Public Works Committee, we kind of went over them. I did add another alley by,
Over there?
yes, the one. I did add that alley because he said there was money left that I could do that.
Okay.
So we did turn that in, and we should be good to go for that for next year. And another thing that I forgot to mark on yours, I printed them all off and I remember this. We are going to have a special meeting between now and before September 1st, because there is I'm supposed to have an OPWC resolution to me today, but they didn't have the numbers to make it happen. But this is for the small government OPWC for the Church Street Interceptor. We'll have to have that resolution in by September 1st to the county engineer. So we thought maybe at the finance meeting, if everybody attends the finance meeting, that we could do that then.
So you do a special meeting right before the finance, or after?
Whenever you want.
Probably do
Publish.
right before it, which would be 5:30 next Wednesday.
It says it's on the 20th there.
Yes.
So 5:15.
Yeah, it's not gonna take.
I don't have to make it, I'm working on volleyball game and bowling game.
Anyone else for sure out on the 20th?
I'm fine.
It works for me.
And maybe we'll know more about the Halloween and just do the one at the same time.
Craig did say they played Fridays last year, so it'll be Saturdays this year. So if we go with him, then it'll conflict.
If we go with the 31st, then it should be fine. Do you want to make that now? We done?
We can double check with Algie if you want to have Carter double check.
Okay, all right. No rush. I just don't want to forget it. And Mr. Ritter will soon be checking to see when they can do it. By the way, it was through Matt for that mitigation plan.
Yes.
In 2025, they conducted the third 5-year hazard mitigation plan update, so if you're really wanting to read it, you can have it, make a copy.
I don't have anything else.
So we got one paper that got handed out.
Oh, yeah, Melanie had that one.
Okay.
I think, Sarah,
Yeah.
you asked about that.
Yeah. I was just curious on, the last week we were talking about the pool being rented and what it cost, like how much revenue we were bringing in. We kind of discussed, which we'll have this for the finance meeting. If
Well,
we're gonna
that-
do anything.
I might not have them all on
Okay.
there, because Haley usually takes care of that, and I
Okay.
just do it until she's
So
got,
I had
an assistant intern,
the reunion there
Sunday, and that,
Okay.
yeah, just send her staff is in there.
Yeah, just, I guess for finance, because then if they were gonna discuss, I think that was one of the items on Beth's,
Monthly
agenda.
expenses to go with it.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Yeah.
You don't see anything about the daycare?
Oh. Yeah, I guess there is another item. We've had issues at the daycare with the air conditioner. I got a call on a Friday night, probably was it a month ago when we had the first heat wave,
We had heat all summer.
and they kept having trouble with it. The people that installed it came down, one of their technicians basically said it's not designed right. So I sent an email to Irvin saying, hey, this is what I've been told, you know, can you look into this? The center is warm. And I did not hear anything back from Irvin. it was a few days. And then I had the owner, or the operators of the daycare calling me, and I said, if you can get somebody there, it needs fixed, or else they're gonna shut down. I mean, it was 90-some degrees, in the building. So they hired a third party. I called Justin Grohl. I told him what was going on. His comment was, well, even if it's, the zoning is not right, it still should be cooling it. I said, well, it's not. So he was like, okay, you know, somebody can go in there and see what's wrong. Well, they went ahead and fixed, or attempted to fix what was wrong. I got a detailed report of that. I sent that off to Justin Grohl and Irvin Reinhardt. And now they want to have a meeting next Friday, because now we're going to point fingers on whose problem it is, and it's not my bill to take care of. So I called Rob, I gave him all the information, and so Rob knows what's going on also. But I can't meet on the 15th, so Kathy is going to go for me, and I guess we're going to see what solutions they come up with. It is still not operating correctly. So.
Rob, are you going also?
On August 15th?
Friday.
Yeah, I will not be here. But we can deal with that.
They've had a year warranty on everything.
Yeah, so did they notify within the warranty period?
Oh, yeah.
August 12th is the warranty, ends the warranty. But now they're stating since somebody else did something, that they don't want to stand by it. Even though they both are saying the same thing.
Can you use your
Both
email?
technicians are saying the same thing was wrong.
Your
So
email
I
is
give
at
all my
paper
emails
trail.
to Rob.
Yeah, Kevin and I talked, I told him to save every communication that we have, and we'll deal with it as it progresses. They're gonna pass the buck around until finally somebody decides to step up and do something. It's not gonna be the village's problem in the end. If we have to do something, we'll do something. But we save all those communications.
Do you have some kind of temporary solution to get it cool in there? Or-
They're doing that now, but it still isn't, it's operating beyond max right now.
I think they have to leave the doors open from different zones, trying to, in the hallway, to keep it.
How many furnaces are in there? What count they
There's 3.
No, no,
We had to replace a condenser. There was one that burned on
there's
it.
no leaks, refrigerant leaks, is that all tested there, I'm sure?
That's all in, yeah, it's all in the emails. One says it was tested and it was overcharged. The other says that it would come pre-charged and they never charged it.
I mean, it's not a complicated building.
And the other one was.
Just this one a little bit bigger.
Well, they attempted to turn it down and it froze. Well, if it's hot, what do you think you're gonna do? Attempt to turn it down, cool it?
The coil froze?
My understanding, all 3 of them did.
Where's the, are the condenser units sitting directly in the sun, or those?
They are on the south side of the building.
Oh, floor drains and they're draining, right, the inside.
As far as I know, there's drains in that room. So,
Also, Kevin, Greg, if we needed to, I mean, we could have somebody else come in and look at that unit, and the cost that we pay, we'll worry about that later, recoup it, to get it back on track.
and that's basically what I have done, because.
I mean, you guys are passing the buck, a third party's not gonna pass the buck, they're gonna say, here's
And
the
the
deal.
first company, you gave them an opportunity to fix it, they did it? Or they came out?
They were down there, Heidi called them, they were down there, and basically they didn't really do anything for her. Oh, it's froze, we gotta come back. Well, come back Monday, it was 100 degrees that weekend, they were gonna have to close the center. And that's, I don't know who that's gonna come back on. So Keith called me, I'm like, well, if you can find somebody to get in there, cause he had somebody lined up to get in there. I'm like, then get him in there and see if we can figure out what's wrong. And then I just kept,
But the other didn't respond right away.
no. Irvin did not respond right away with me telling him, the technician that stuck the unit in says the zoning, it's not designed right. And then he got his person who designed it, And that was like almost a week later, the guy got back with me. And I sent that, right when I got it, I sent that up to Justin Grohl. And nothing really happened. So I had to get it cool, so.
Are they turning the blowers on and leaving them running constantly?
I don't know. All I
Well,
know is
it
I
was-
asked for a detailed report, and it was pretty good detail. It showed exactly what they were doing.
I mean, that's just, you're just Band-Aiding it by turning the blower on, because you're always keeping air moving, and then you can lower the temperature down a little bit more, but it's just gonna keep going all the time. That way you got, at least got air moving across it, so it don't freeze up possibly.
Maybe can run the portable units too.
Well, you know what, that shouldn't be on us. Stay tuned.
Yep,
keep track of it,
keep track of everything.
Yes, Greg does have a wedding Saturday.
You don't wanna miss that rehearsal to come
I
then.
think I got it decorated or something.
Yeah, he would give anything to be at that meeting in reality.
Greg, did you hear anything about the community center, about the colors and stuff from?
No, I emailed Casey direct, and Chase was on that email, and which I had him on the email. I knew he was on the email, but I
Yeah.
kinda didn't. So, she reached out to him directly, and I still have not heard anything.
I just thought of something, so, to talk about like the concession, do we need any more Parks and Rec? Since the season's coming to an end?
Well, we probably need to either figure out what we're gonna put down for that park grant for a third option.
Okay.
Item 3, we could talk about that at
So
the
some-
parks meeting, or
Okay.
throw out ideas tonight, it doesn't matter.
I was just curious, because I know we're gonna talk about the concession and possibly the village buying what we provided
Right.
in there. And then I don't know if it's too early to discuss pool, or should we wait for that?
I think you should have that going into next year, that was one of my, I was gonna, if you had that.
I think we need the spreadsheet and everything,
Yeah.
we had an
Okay.
issue.
There, guys, I would have another meeting that way you can
Summer
get.
ball league, softball games, or anything.
No.
Any of that.
There was, he just texted me that there was 257 people at the pool today.
It was busy. It was there. There wasn't a parking spot anywhere. Had to park over on the stone lot.
So is September, if I send you guys September dates, we can choose from there.
Okay, Rob.
Okay, I guess the Kathy Ray case is wrapping itself up. Greg said there's no more vehicles left at the property. She comes to court tomorrow, and we'll finish that case off with her, so that works successfully. Greg and I are starting another set of cases on the car that he's been working on for quite some time. Tim and I discussed that matter tonight. There are some other matters I'm dealing with that aren't necessarily particular to this meeting or to disclose. I am aware of the air conditioning issue, and Greg and I have been discussing that, and I've been telling him what to do in that regard, in case that gets worse between infighting of those folks, but we should be a neutral party in that, and be the ones that be made whole down the road. I will say again, if we need to take any action to have something else done, or a third party come in, we would just need to save those correspondence and save those bills if we had want somebody to second guess that. And I know some gas cases have settled up, and we've dismissed those through the efforts of Haley. I can't think of her new last name. Wilkins.
We went from A to W.
Yes. So we've been doing that, been doing good, so we're good to go here on my side. That's all I have.
Okay.
And we're gonna be talking about easements and all that
Yeah.
stuff, but that's nothing.
Chief.
We had 6 incidences, 138 calls for service. Wrote some tickets, towed a motorcycle. Went to court on an old warrant that came about from 2020. That was a nice surprise on Friday. Oh wait, Wednesday. The day before. Wednesday. But that was a nice surprise. Have had some problems with some kids riding mini bikes. It's a new thing here recently. They're buying the mini bikes off of Amazon. They're not allowed in town. And I've stopped a couple and I've told them no. I've talked to parents, told them no. So I guess if you see them, shoot me a message so I know what area they're in, so I can kind of watch. I think now they're waiting for me to leave, and then they get them out.
Are there any going through the cemetery that you heard of?
Not that I'm aware of, but can't say that it's not.
Yeah, I've heard some.
They were out on the old golf course the other night.
Yep, I heard them out there too.
And I know that there's been a couple people to say, well, the school doesn't say anything. Well, they're still not technically allowed. If the school, I don't really think the school's gonna want that liability, but I'm not allowing it. So I am stopping it, and if I have to start impounding them, then I guess I will, and the kids will have to go to court.
So, all these e-bikes,
Electric ones.
e-cycles, fake motorcycles, real motorcycles, all these things that didn't exist 20 years ago are coming back to head again. So the city of Findlay is looking at it. I'm part of the Ohio Municipal Attorneys Association, and so every law director across the state of Ohio is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So the state of Ohio is not going to do anything, probably. There was rumor that they're talking about doing something, but if they did, it'll take forever. So probably in regards to lights, helmet, eyewear, licensure, age, is going to have to be done locally. So I'm kind of watching what's going on. We're having meetings in Findlay coming up to maybe make our own rules in the meantime. And if those work, we can at least pass them on to here and then wait and see what Ohio does down the road.
Well, there's an old ordinance that I came across that says no mini bikes on the streets or sidewalks here in town. And then we've got the four-wheelers, and we do have a resident that's pretty upset with me about that, because I told him he can't ride his four-wheeler all over town. I thought he was gonna be here tonight, but he's not, so.
Well, do we have, I mean, if somebody wanted to have a golf cart in town, they're gonna have to take it to the sheriff, right?
No, they bring, I
Okay,
do them
you do it
too.
here, okay?
Mhm, I do.
I mean, the
because I'm
four-wheeler's
in
the same
golf
damn
cart.
thing, he's gonna have to have.
And I
lights,
tried to
right?
explain that to him,
Yeah.
but his previous spouse, I guess, was on council, and supposedly prior council allowed it, which I told him that's not allowed either. We have an ordinance, and they can't override an ordinance. The ordinance has to be changed if that's what they wanna do. They can't just give an approval, because then we're gonna have the whole town riding four-wheelers through town, but. So anyways, I've been dealing with that, so.
And if you hear that I told him he could park a trailer behind his house in the alley, I did not. That is what he's telling everyone when he stopped and asked me, is there an alley behind my house? And I even text Greg, because Greg looked it up, and there is an alley behind his house, but he now has purchased a trailer and has it parked there in the alley. And looks like part of his garage actually is in the alley. So,
According to the auditor's site. But that can.
okay, anything else, Tammy?
The new cruiser will, when Mitchell gets moving along, I will leave that up here for the new cruiser. We will both be driving the new cruiser because of the, computer and stuff in there. I'll take the old one home, so if I gotta come flying up here for something for him to back him up on anything, then I have, at least can get up here quick. So just kinda, so you know.
I think I put that in my.
I think it was in there.
Okay.
Okay. I do not have a whole lot this evening. We have 3 birthdays, and only one person ended up with the chocolate, because that was already in my drawer. Tyler, Monday, Haley, the 22nd, and Jamie, the 23rd. And I have bars bought, but I couldn't leave them in my vehicle. And they couldn't leave them near the windows in the house. The whole back's got a lot of windows, so the guy's sitting in another spot. So I will get you guys one, so. I did receive a thank you letter from the Cookie Festival for, providing, I think we did, this swim thing? Yeah. So, I think they had a very good turnout. Things went well. The AEP documents, we're going to be reviewing them again and making some suggestions before we sign anything. The park, that grant is due, I think, around September 20th. I know we talked about the Dura Edge being our number one for Ball Field 2, am I right there? One? Last year I put in that smaller welcome front shelter house. If we get that completed, the whole front of the park is done. And I need a third item, because they like to have three. So be thinking of those. I mean, I'm really hoping they just say Dura Edge and we're done. So, other than
When do you
that-
need that? Sorry, Kathy.
I think it's the 20th of September, somewhere right around there. I'll have it all done. I can do the two, but just not number one choice, the Dura Edge.
Is there a dollar amount or there's?
Well, they usually like to go between 12 and 15, but somehow or another we got 31 last year for that shelter. So I don't know what their budget is, you never know, so I'd
Who's
like
it
to.
through? Who's it through?
Park District. And don't forget, don't go at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night, it truly is 6:30 for the Board of Education meeting.
And one other thing, and this is kind of early, but I've got a Friends of the Library group meeting coming up, and they're gonna be wanting, to talk about the silent auction event that they have to raise money, so if we wanna talk about going ahead and donating the pool pass like we have done.
I'll make a motion to donate a pool pass to the Friends of the Library auction.
Second. You did, Tyler?
Tyler.
Any questions? I think it's
As a family pool pass
A
for
family
next
pass.
year.
26. And then you wanna call the roll. I'll help you out on that one. I can help you, because we do it every year.
Yes.
Mr. Basic?
Yes.
Mrs. Gill?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Mrs. Sherrick? Yes.
Thank you.
No, fine. Anything else? Those of you who were not in planning and zoning, we do have an updated, drawing of the park, if you would like to look at that. Jamie was at the meeting, they did make a lot of those, there's still a couple things they didn't put on, but we talked about fencing and the gates